Well, welcome back. We're now at home. We've done our day's flying and it's time to fill out some student notes. I'm really keen that these are comprehensive, constructive feedback for the students. They get to see this on their devices at home and have to acknowledge that they've read them as well, okay, electronically. Now, you know, just turning around and say, I don't wish to teach everyone to suck eggs, but just turning around and saying, yeah, you were great. That was a great loop. Brilliant. Thanks very much. Isn't really good enough. We need to be very detailed about how they can improve and where things are not safe, for example. And when we do the student notes, I'll show you there's one to say that they need some more practice and one that's been, and another box to say that it's complete. So here we are, we've gone home, we pick up our iPad, our mobile phone, whatever we need to do. We're going to go to the member, okay? Like I said, we've done a flight with Wayne today in the Aerobat. Here it is there now. That's the booking that we put in right from the very beginning. At the top, we've got flights, Wayne's documents, his training files, and invoices, which we don't use because I use a different system. So if I click on the flight booking, you can see that it's got some details about the aircraft and the block times and stuff. We can link the techlog entry and we can update the training files. Now the cost sharing thing is something that's coming in with the CAA soon, and that is to help the member fill out the required paperwork for the CAA's auditing in relation to cost sharing, and to make sure it's done legally and they can sign that electronically. It just means it's a little bit of giving back to the member, that they won't have to fill out paperwork and bits and pieces. They can just do it all electronically on our system. So that's something that's coming. It's something we're working on. But anyway, back to our training. So we've done this flight with Wayne. I want to link that flight from the aircraft tech log onto his training records, okay? So I'm in his flight log. I go to flights. I link the entry. Now, it might be that it's some time ago, okay? Because we had too many glasses of wine that evening and we rolled on to the next day. So we find the flight, there it is there, 8:30 to 9. I click on that and that will populate these details at the top. Now that will be exported to his training file at the bottom to say that he has done this half-an-hour flight and he's done 2 landings on his aerobatic or on his training file. We now need to tell it which training file to link that to. So we update the training file, we select the course he's been doing. Like I said, he's been doing some aerobatics today, and we did some, and these are all the different elements. Now we could look at that in a different page so you know what's required, but ultimately we did some manoeuvres and recoveries. We use another drop down, loops, enter, and here's our techlog training file entry, training file entry page, okay? Like I said, if you've done it the next day, you'll need to edit the date, because that's just today's date that you've entered it. But it might be you need to backdate it, okay? And we understand that. Practice and discuss. Obviously, if they still need some more practice, or you've just discussed it, we'll just tick that box. If they're absolutely fantastic and they're suitable and safe, then we're going to complete the completed blocks and we can move on to the next thing, okay? Comments will be written in here. Like I said, today we've done some loops. I'm really not going to get into this too much. Loops, all went well, safe, etc. Okay, I don't need to write that for the purpose of this. We then initial it, sign it, whatever you wish to do, and then I submit it. That's it. It will put a line in here and it's going to link it to this file. If we've done lots of stuff, we can add lots of stuff. So if we did rolling, for example, we can tick this off and sign that off, okay? Let's just cancel that. But we've just done looping today because it was just a half-hour flight. And that's it. That's all we need to do. Where does that go? Well, if we now go to Wayne's training, this is his flight log, documents, training file. I can look at his aerobatics, okay? Now I can look at these individually if I wish, and I can add extra stuff to this if I need to. So if I go into the aerobatics and looping maneuvers, I will see here there's a little drop down, and I've done this before because this is just a made up training file. You can see that on the 16th, I've completed an entry, and there it is there. Loops all went well, okay? So that's where it's gone. Now I can add extra things in here. If I wanted to add something on a stall turn, I can add it on the stall turn page, okay? But ultimately, we should do it through the flights page because that will make sure it links the tech log to it as well. Now, that's how to look at it individually. If you just want to look at the whole file and see what other people have done in one thing, previously, if we click on the little paper page at the top there, it will convert all of this data into a PDF document, and you can see that how it's listed. So it will list it into ground school, technical subjects, etc., etc. There's our looping manoeuvres there, ticked off, loops all went well, etc. Written test will be signed off, anything that we need to do. And most importantly, right at the very bottom, the 16th of March, it's me, and he's done 30 minutes with 2 landings, okay? So that is how the student notes will look. Each student notes obviously has different elements and is split up in different ways, and you'll soon get your head around it once you've started completing a few. Obviously, we need, at the end of the course, all of the elements all ticked as completed before final assessment, whether it's an assessment or flight test, okay, before it can go on. If it is a flight